Hey guys, welcome to Frank's Handyman. Today we're going to be seeing the guys do a plywood installing job. They're going to be doing the kitchen, the living room, and they're going to be doing this bathroom as well. We had a pretty cold day, so he was just setting up a heater, that way he could work a lot more comfortable. And then he just started putting on the plywood. And as you can see here, this is where the vent goes, so he's making a cut around it. Now that he put them down, he's gonna start putting down all the screws. As one focuses putting on the screws, the other guy also focuses on putting down this material that we put on the floor before we put the plywood. He just was also making sure that it's taped, and as you can see, it has to be pretty flat. It can't be having too many bumps on it. But once all the guys got in there, everything started moving a lot faster. They also switched to using a nail gun instead, just because it's a lot faster than putting down every single screw. And as you can see, the living room's moving pretty fast. So you can see it's coming along. This is the kitchen section here, and he's putting down, as you can see here, the same material that we put in the living room. The most tedious thing really about the job on this is mostly doing all these cuts that we had to do, and there was a lot. For the main bigger sections, it was pretty easy to put down the plywood. Once we get down to the end, that's when we really needed to make a lot of the cuts. As the guys keep advancing in the living room, our other colleague is focusing still on the kitchen, just getting everything done, and he's using a staple gun here. You could use either tape or a staple gun. once setting this piece down, the living room was pretty much done. So then they started moving into the kitchen section. The kitchen was more of a challenge just because there's a lot more corners and there's going to be a lot more smaller cuts that have to be made and a little bit more complex. Right now that's what he's doing. He's just making a trace, that way he knows where he's going to be cutting. And that's the small cut he had to make, that little small adjustment. If you see here, it fit pretty well. As the other guys are working in the kitchen, he's doing a cut, as you can see here by this little front door. He's going to be putting that cut there. Just so it fits a lot better and a little bit more tight, what he's doing is he's using another piece of wood and hitting it with the hammer. That way it really gets in the corners. Kitchen section, there's still a couple more that they have to put down. This is going to be a pretty tough one here, just because the angle, it's pretty difficult to work with. But the guys made the right adjustments for it. Once he drew the lines of reference, as you can see, he made the cuts and it fit perfectly. This is the last little section right here that he's going to put as far as for the kitchen section. And he's still working on the other one. Once they get done putting these are pretty much the biggest sections that they had to work with. Now they're just going to focus going around putting in the last little pieces that they needed. As you can see here, like all the fill-ins. Everyone's doing a little bit of everything right now. One's finishing up putting the last touches in the kitchen, and one's in the bathroom. And he's focusing on putting this piece right here. This is the small closet section where he's going to be putting in that piece of plywood. He's just looking around, seeing how he's going to make the cuts. He's finishing up the final pieces in the living room. Over here as well on the side of the wall, he's gonna also make a cut where the vent is. And the bathroom came along pretty well. The piece of plywood that they cut came along and it fit perfectly. And now they're just making the last cut here that's gonna go in the very front in the living room. There's still some in the kitchen that they have to do, but once the ones in the kitchen get done, that's the final touch we'll be putting in. You see here the closet's done. Once he gets done with this cut right here, this will be done. And if you see, this is the bathroom. It came out looking great, and so did the kitchen, and so did the living room, but you will see here in a bit. And that was it. This was the final product. So stay tuned for more things like this. We'll be putting in a new episode Monday, so have a good day.